Alright, so here we are, November the 1st.
Happy November.
It's been a while since there's been a podcast. Quite a while, actually.
Not really.
What did you say?
Rabbit.
Oh, boy.
I don't know. I just
The
think
European.
It's been a pretty busy season, so this has been last on my priority list. So. Caught a little bit of a break, so decided to throw one together last minute. So, joined by Talbert, Amy, and Kevin. Thank you guys for coming out last minute. And Tonya co-hosting. She's just here to plug her own stuff, but
I mean, that's what you gotta
It's
do,
still
though.
our stuff.
Our time.
What do you guys want to talk about first?
Our time.
Our time.
I mean, we're kind of like almost already there.
Actually, no.
Amy's the last one to join.
Yeah. No, because I didn't tell you this yet. I guess I probably can't. I mean, it doesn't matter now. We were going to wear our time jerseys, but they have a different logo on them.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
you would appreciate that.
Oh, really?
Hey.
Yeah.
Where is my?
Lauren Moat says, Tanya, your hair is looking great. The process
Thanks,
is
girl.
working.
Trust the process.
Oh.
How about those Patriots? 4th loss in a row.
Good.
My Steelers are 7-0 though.
Miami wanted to do too.
So I don't follow
Fuck
football,
Miami.
but you're cheering the Patriots and now they don't have their quarterback?
They have a quarterback. He's just a bad one.
I was gonna
Oh.
say, you're like cheering for somebody to lose who lost their star player.
Well, it's funny because there's a
It's
lot of
assistant
bandwagon
quarterback.
Patriots fans, and I haven't seen them floating around this year very much. So
I think we should talk about the elephant in the room.
Where's that?
Right here.
I don't see it. Oh.
No, me.
I was like,
That's why she did that, not that.
hold on, let me flip off that.
Why
There
is
you
it-
go,
yeah,
now
there
they
you
can
go.
see
Now
it.
they
They
can
can
see it. Yeah.
Why is it-
Natty Lake?
Why is it 25 ounces?
Cause you get an ounce for
You
free.
go for the big one.
Oh, you get 1 free ounce.
Yeah. You take
because your
the
car
boy out.
insurance reduces when you're 25. A lot of magical stuff.
Mine
happens
didn't.
at 25.
It's like 4% free.
Yeah. You can take the boy out of Hampton. You can't take the Hampton out of the boy.
That's kind of a true statement. You do talk about Hampton a lot.
Yeah, you used to. Give me your glass,
Oh,
man.
is it?
Yeah, you're getting some of this too.
It's not
This
bad.
is your lager you asked for.
It's not that frosty anymore.
Ryan said he likes lagers, and I brought beer, so I got him a lager.
That's true.
It just happens to be one of the worst beers in the world. But it's easy to pound.
It doesn't look too bad.
You drank
No,
that way
you
too.
can't sip that.
I was about to say, you can't sip that, son.
Oh, man, it's
Why are
gonna
you
be bad.
sipping that?
It's gonna be bad.
You didn't even have your pinky up when you did that.
That's true, I didn't.
All right, come on, boys. Cheers and
See, here we go. Here's one of those bandwagon fans. Mafalda, no talking about the Pats, please.
But they don't have American football in Portugal, so she has to follow somebody.
Well, she loves Tom Brady.
Huh, it's a New England Revolution then, right?
That's the soccer team.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
football.
she should follow the revolution then.
Corey says Tanya's hair is the star of the show.
it looks good. Look at it on the screen.
No, I don't
You
like
look
looking
hot.
at the screen.
Yeah.
Because she's like higher than everybody else.
Well, it's
oh no, that would be
delayed.
cooler. Never
This is
mind.
in the state.
Oh no, hot air white, right?
So what do you guys want to talk about first?
The elephant in the room.
Oh God! Don't throw up on me.
What's the plan for playoffs?
We're gonna have them.
Huzzah!
That's the plan. Oh, you want more details?
I'm check.
Oh.
I'm checking the weather forecast since
I was
games are
gonna say.
canceled.
So yeah, softball was canceled. They actually dumped down
Did it really
almost
rain
an
that
inch
much?
of rain. Yeah.
It rained really hard.
So
I slept through it.
and I checked.
1% chance to rain tomorrow.
I don't think it's gonna rain tomorrow,
It's
but
gonna
field
be
conditions will be a
cold.
question, and it's gonna be
Yeah, it's
cold.
gonna be cold.
I would recommend everybody dress warmly.
There's
Yeah,
supposed to be
I
a
think
high
by
of like 52.
51.
I think by 8 o'clock it's supposed to be mid-40s.
It never even.
No, with the wind chill, it's going to be in the 20s.
So my nipples are going to be extra hard tomorrow.
It wasn't
hate
that
the
cold
cold.
all last winter.
So everybody watching, especially the girls, as of today, right now, it's happening. So make sure you're on time and bundled up.
You don't want to forfeit during the playoffs.
Yeah.
I already had a discussion with my team.
Cuddle your team.
So yeah, as a reminder for playoffs,
Yeah,
there is
you don't
not
have-
a grace period for 7:30 or 8:30 games. There's only grace period for 6:30 games.
Show up early. Remember, parking sucks.
Yep.
Yeah, but not too early because I need to park.
This is like going into the 9th or 10th week.
I was gonna say this
On
has
this.
been scheduled.
A
You
lot
know
of
what
people
time
take
to
a
be
long
there.
time to learn, man.
It
Must be
does.
good.
Some people a long time.
What, 3 seasons? 4 seasons?
So
10
let me
years?
see if I'm pretty sure I get a little graphic here. Let me see if I can dig it up.
Ryan's getting graphic.
Oh yes.
You should see
I
what's
should've
going
got-
on in the corner.
Yeah, you should see what's going on in the corner over there.
Whoa.
Can I start my own live feed?
Yeah,
I'll
do
go
it.
on Facebook Live. Oh,
Yeah.
camera on that phone. Kevin, go Facebook Live. Show everybody what the dolls in Keel's house are doing. We don't even know whose dolls they are.
How do you go live?
You do it. We used to do our podcast on your phone live.
One time.
Twice.
No,
Twice.
Was it
at
twice?
least.
more than that.
I think I was actually 3 times.
Oh.
How long were you in Europe for last year?
While we're
That was like
pausing,
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Lauren, so this was one of my boot gifts, and let me tell you, this cup is amazing. I think it's more amazing than my Yeti.
That's pretty.
It is.
No, it is a nice color.
It's
Built.
built.
Well, all right, what are you doing, man?
He's
Alright.
looking for the graphic.
Looks like
There we go.
Oh, yes, there it is.
Alright, so you guys will see this in a second. So this is the schedule for this coming Monday. The first 2 games on there, Balls of Glory, Winter Booze, Miss Peaches, and Team 6, those are regular season games.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, that's the week 1 BS with the lights.
That
Ah.
comboed with the partial field condition right now, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Which-
that's those 2 games are gonna what decides 3 through 8, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
All the
Um,
TBD.
I ran literally every scenario, and there was no way to lock anybody into.
I'm sorry you did that.
Hey,
Those are
spreadsheets
the
are fun.
Well, I mean, look at the dolls over there. What else is that?
But
That one in the green.
Hot Boys and Wasted Potential were already locked, and TNA Experience and Sugar on the Rim are already locked. So those games can happen at 6:30 as well, which allows us to have 5 opponent unannounced games, and then finally one 8:30 game to cap it off. Big asterisk though, field conditions will play into this. If field conditions are shitty and we have to close down 1 or 2 fields like we did earlier in the year, we'll do that, get as many games in as we can, and go from there.
I will say, I lived very close to there, and it rained really hard between 11:15 until possibly 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it was like a 3-hour span.
Well, as
just
long as you
under-
don't have to close down more than 1 field, you're okay.
You can move games to 8:30.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially.
So be prepared.
Yeah. So this schedule that you see is if nothing goes wrong.
And 2 fields are shut down. Yeah, we're screwed.
Caitlin said, "What's the drinking game rules?"
What drinking game? You just
Mafalda says every time Keel says "actually drink," do not agree
I-
to
no,
that when you'll be drinking a
Because
lot.
I'd say actually too much as well. That and the word though.
Though?
Yes, though.
We're out.
TH.
We're out. Though?
And when I text, I say though way too much. And actually.
For those that are familiar with kickball and know all the teams, know
I
that
don't know anything.
with our 16 teams, for the most part, the top 8 teams all played each other this season, and the bottom 8 teams all played each other this season.
Intentionally.
Yes, it was planned that way. So that's why some people may look at this and be like, well, hey, how come TNA Experience is like the number 2 seed?
Because we rock.
Yeah, because we're that freaking awesome.
Well, because you only lost 1 game all season.
Paper doesn't rip. Never mind.
But I mean, that's also like.
I mean, I'm not gonna no because it's gonna sound bad. So
we
I
had
was
to
gonna
play an
say,
undefeated team last week.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, y'all played an undefeated team.
Right.
But there's some mailbag questions regarding that, so we'll dive into that in a little bit in a second. I'm not going to be as diplomatic as I normally am with some of the mailbag questions.
Oh.
But we'll see. Any predictions for playoff games for this stuff?
I think the Waterfield game is gonna go off without a hitch at 6:30.
I think you're right. I think reffing's going to be.
It's gonna be the
pristine
easiest
on that
ref
field, yeah.
game ever.
So
I call that one.
look, I expect Hot Boys to beat Wasted Potential and TNA Experience to beat Sugar on the Rim.
I'll agree with that.
What's
Um,
I-
That's not
The,
in my
the other
bracket.
games, who knows? Because who knows who the opponents are going to be.
Do we really have to have Troy ref our game? That could cost it for us.
Which Troy? Which Troy?
Troy on his
Troy.
team.
Troy Carter? Troy Holland? Or
No,
Troy?
Holland's not. I don't think Holland's out. He's not socializing right now.
Yeah, he's not playing. I know. It's so weird when we have all these teams. Like, there's people playing that we haven't seen all season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one downside of a larger league. You don't get to see everybody.
Yeah, like we had Sherman
Oh, so
for
I
the
haven't-
sport of
so-
it, and I was like, D'Angelo's not playing Monday night.
So
Yeah, and I walk up as soon as I walk in the field, there he's standing right by me. Like,
I was like, I'm so sorry.
yeah,
So-
but
so
I
I-
haven't seen him either. Though.
So I have a question. So like prior to this season, we had what 9 teams was kind of the tops 8, 9, right?
Last fall I had 11.
11.
Really?
Okay. So, what are your thoughts as commissioner as far as the number of players and teams? Like, has it been more of a headache than you expected? And do you think it's too many?
Let me help you answer that. No matter how many players it is, it's going to be a headache for one.
That's true.
Is that wrong?
No,
That's
that is
not
true.
wrong.
That's always true.
Well,
Just magnify it by
more of
however
a
many
headache
more there are.
than normal.
So, the scheduling and the refereeing going up to 16 teams was, yeah. I mean, the more teams, more stuff you got to put in, more fields you got to set up. That's always more of a headache. Although it was nice having an even number for once. I've been stuck with like 7 and 9 and 11, which is a nightmare. But
yeah, those playoff brackets suck in the schedule.
no, this season, as far as
Not this season. I'm talking about when you have odd numbers.
one thing that I like is I got a lot of positive feedback about the quality of the games during the regular season, which is good to hear. Because in the past, that would always be a complaint that I couldn't do much about.
Because if you had 8 teams and
Eight teams, and 3 of them were awesome, the other were just okay, and one was new.
and we're like trying to get
They were-
into
yeah.
it.
If you're working with what you have.
Yeah. So as the league has gotten larger, it's given me more flexibility to make the regular season for the true competitive players. They get more competitive matchups, which the people who want to get better and want competitive kickball, I got positive feedback from them saying they enjoyed it because they didn't play, or they played very few games this season where they came in and it was just a blowout every single game. Like first inning, they were like, okay, we're swapping all our field positions up. They actually got some legitimate game time and reps in. And then for a lot of the veteran players that have always been on more social or mid-tier teams, I got a lot of feedback from them that they really enjoyed not getting blown out every week. They got to play, they got to have their fun game,
Excuse me.
Yeah.
but they didn't get destroyed by the second inning or third inning. So it's always good to hear that feedback. I've gotten more positive feedback about regular season scheduling games this season than I've gotten the entire time I've been running the league.
That's
Not
good.
even close.
That's good.
Yeah.
So if you obviously winter is draft, and then we have spring. So if you had 16 teams again in spring, would you do anything differently?
Nothing too like the only thing that I might consider for spring would be potentially making formal divisions.
I was going to recommend
Because
that,
it, like-
actually.
We don't have formal divisions right now,
Yeah.
but they were essentially effectively in place the way the scheduling was done.
Yeah.
So
So you could have kind of like an A and B division,
Yeah.
right.
or A and B league, or
And
whatever.
teams would not get to self-select. It would.
Right. Be based upon.
And honestly, like, I mean, I showed all the captains. Basically, I broke it up into 4 quads, and I think based on the records, it came out really close. There might have been 1 or 2 teams that would have slipped up 1 or down 1, but yeah, I don't think based like the preseason seeding wasn't out of whack. It was pretty much dead on.
You didn't have me ranked as number 2 preseason.
Well, your record based on being played.
But see, but like if you
No,
change,
no.
right? But if you changed it up, you could do one of 2 philosophies, right? You could create 2 divisions, and then like seed everybody in there, so it's a mix of it. Or you could put all like you did, like a top and bottom,
Here's the thing. No,
and
here's
then
the
do
problem with that.
then do a crossover,
Here's-
or have a divisional playoff and the 2 divisional winners play.
Well, here's the thing about that though. How do you determine who goes where? You let the
It's-
captains choose
No.
because you know.
No, like the commissioner has to do it based upon previous
Because
performance and rosters.
I've seen leagues with self-selection of divisions, and it's never a good time because the teams that can't win in the competitive division, they're going to try to self-select in the lower.
Or you
winners.
could do it like the tournaments and have it draft style.
I think every game season should just be draft from now on.
Draft is so
People
fun.
do like draft. But people like
We can
coming
ring
in
her
with
off.
theirs that
Jeez
teams
Louise.
do, so. Let's see here.
Any relevant questions?
ton of comments.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Holy shit.
Oh, hold
I
on.
couldn't see them.
Let me log in.
Which feed are you looking at?
No, there's only
That
one,
one
right?
Lavala said, Lauren Moats, you're not wrong, pay to play.
Oh, let me cut this.
Lauren says, is Keel feeding guess this time? If not, what a shame. What's the bar game? It's going to be beer pong.
Pay to play only works in
No,
Red
it's not.
Kid League.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that for you.
So beer pong will be the game. It'll be more of it'll be a free for all thing like cornhole was. We'll get it set up, get you guys ready to go, and then you'll just have to jump in and play games.
So what time is that going to start? Since
Well,
we do have an
here
8:30
I was about to
game.
say,
Well,
yeah,
you know
8:30.
what? I need a volunteer because Haley's not going to be there because she's getting surgery on her knee, and I'm going to be at the
Oh,
field
she
since
is?
probably 10. So.
Text her right now.
Let's see.
I have to get up at 5
Okay,
Look, I
we actually
pointed
have
to the
a
camera,
real
I
question
got it.
here. Out of the 5 7:30 games, how will you determine who's playing at 8:30 again? Well, that's already been determined. That's going to be Bay Steelers. They were one of 2 teams that would be most beneficial to play at 8:30 based on the reffing setup. The other one was May Contain Alcohol. So it was going to be May Contain Alcohol or Bay Steelers. But Margaret was begging, who's captain for Bay Steelers, was begging for 8:30 games all season. So I figured, why not give her an 8:30 game? Maybe
You're
she'll
welcome,
stop
Margaret.
whining. Probably not. But
You said it.
that's right, I did say it. All right, that looks like all the comments so far.
You said there were a lot.
Apparently there's some
Relevance.
discussion
Relevance.
over pay to play team name now. That's the next fight. I
What?
guess it's not Hot Boys anymore.
Oh, what's the
People are trying to
discussion?
call dibs on pay to play for a team name.
Pay
Pay to play.
I don't get it.
Aren't that creative? I
I don't know. I used to come up with pretty good team names.
I'm gonna announce my.
What are the other 4 games?
I'm gonna be announcing my free agency after the end of the season.
Kevin.
What are the other 4
Damn it.
games?
We need to talk to you after this.
Mafalda, there are no other 8:30 games other than what's scheduled.
Love you, man.
Love you
The
harder.
TBDs will be determined after Balls of Glory, Winter Blues play, and Miss
Oh.
Peaches Team 6 play. So
Oh.
the opponents for the 7:30 games and the 8:30 game will not be determined until 7:30.
Can we look at the current standings? Maybe that'll help a little bit.
Ooh,
And then
I don't
take
have an
the
easy
first
screenshot of that,
Oh, you don't.
but
You have a lot of favorites. Do you think you can click
We
on
don't
one?
look at Ryan's computer when we're on the
Those are all
podcast.
incognito tabs. Those are all incognito tabs. He's smarter than that.
It's a good thing he didn't click on the wrong folder.
right.
That one had a lot of X's.
All right. So standings, and standings are not organized how I would like them. Normally, I would do it by win percentage, but League Apps has a bug that I have a ticket in for right now. It doesn't. Instead
I'm
of
just a spreadsheet.
instead of applying the forfeit penalty, it provides you a bonus to your points. Which
What?
is yeah.
Wait a minute.
Someone had a math logic error. Anyway, so that's why I use the standing points. So right now, Hot Boys is 1, TNA Experience 2, OG Hot Boys 3, Balls of Glory 4. However, Balls of Glory's only played 7 games. Team 6, 5, but they've only played 7 games. Winter Booze 6, they've only played 7 games. Then we have Kicked Out at 7, Miss Peaches at 8, but they've only played 7 games. Fireballs Deep 9, Make 10 Alcohol 10, Red Hot 11, Recreational Hazard 12, Kick Integrity 13, Base Steelers 14, Sugar on the Rim 15, and Wasted Potential 16.
Okay, my biggest surprise, or Kick Integrity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They had a forfeit, so that hurt them on their
really?
on their crossover game. They forfeited their crossover game.
But still, even before
still,
that.
That
they
was
were-
last week.
yeah.
Before that, they weren't doing as well as I thought they would have.
Well, yeah,
you
I-
gotta remember though,
I mean,
like
that's a 14 seed, right?
Yeah, so Kick Integrity
All right, excuse me.
and Red Hot, like both our teams are playing good teams all season. So,
I don't know.
I mean, that didn't impact us.
well, I mean, you guys were my preseason number 1 too.
Oh.
So
I don't know who else on your roster, but I watched Kick Integrity play,
I roughed the game with
and I like just
Yeah.
seeing who all is on their team. I'm like really shocked that they're coming.
Well, and another thing too is like It's how quickly you can get your team together and working together
The
too. is another
synergy
thing.
and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you
But you know what though? No, listen. What I mean,
No, that's we've talked about that before. The whole social aspect. That's a big piece.
how is that? All right, so bracket. You have a bracket lineup available ready to show where seating would be? Because 14 might not be a bad spot to be in.
It's right
No.
there.
Or
12.
13. They're 13. So 13 might not
yeah, I
be a
mean,
bad
you
spot to
can
be
look
in.
at it.
So they'll play the
Do you have?
they'll play the winner of
No, I think Rise and all the numbers are super close.
5-12.
Oh,
Your,
They'll play the winner of 5-12.
I've got a.
I already did.
the one you left in hoop again.
No.
Hey, 4-13 plays the winner of 5-12.
All right, so
Okay. So yeah.
people can't see this, but
Oh yeah. This
Sorry.
is for our eyes only.
Just like Barbie over there.
so 14 plays
Which one?
3. 14 plays 3.
No, leave it there because it's great for me to look at.
Oh, I think
What?
I can just.
14 plays 3. So base Steelers ended up 14
That
is
is
going to
Travel
play.
Barbie, so she's been around.
All right. So 13 they play the TBT team.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? What was your most interesting out of all these scenarios you came up with? Which one was your most interesting one yet?
Why are you playing with weird dolls, Kevin?
Spank bank material.
I'm dying.
No, it's
I'm back. It was a quickie.
so the 3 through 8 teams.
Hey kid, while you're down on the floor, grab me a beer.
Oh God.
Your mom's
Beer wench.
mobile. Mobile. Wait a minute. Yeah, I can't reach.
Dude, I'm almost mobile. God.
You are.
All right, so here's my playoff scenario sheet.
Oh wow.
All
Whoa.
right,
I like this.
So
You need to increase that and just
Yeah.
move the screen around
What
too.
are you drinking?
Legend. Well,
No, I'm good.
No, you're not a legend.
well, I used to
all
be.
right.
Yeah, I wasn't for very good reasons.
So a lot of these are all over the place, but like for example, like
Who's
OG
the
Hot
best?
Boys, they'll end up 4 or 5 no matter what. All the scenarios, they're gonna end up 4 or 5.
Wait, where's my dummy bracket?
Amy made a bracket. At work.
However, the
Thursday.
only way that OG Hot Boys ends up 4 is if Peaches and 6 tie their game, which is unlikely.
So it was like.
Well, hey, you never know.
Mm.
I don't
I-
know.
again,
That's
that's why the
That's
scenario is
high.
there.
Yeah, how many times have you had this season?
So that's why obviously they're not locked in yet. They're but realistically they'll probably end up the 5 seed, which means they would be playing.
I have OG Hot Boys in fifth.
Oh!
My back.
Hold on.
Oh, you should come to
So I put the screen back up so people can see it. So OG Hot Boys more than likely will be playing Recreational Hazard in the opening
You
round.
should read
Oh,
the comments.
that's what I've got.
Yep, Amy's bracket says OG Hot Boys
Alright.
beating Recreational Hazard.
So looking up at the screen right there, do any of your bracket positions differ from what you've got on there right now?
I don't know. I can't. I'm like.
She can't think right
squinting.
now.
Yeah, I had a rough night. Really rough night.
Alright, so the other one interesting thing, so Miss Peaches could end up anywhere from 3 to 8.
Alright, so in her bracket, she
I
has,
have Peaches at 8.
yeah.
But see, the only way, so
They have to lose,
if Peaches win their game against Team 6, they end up 3 or 4. But if they lose their game against Team 6, they end up 8th every
Yeah.
single time.
I
And
have
if they
Peaches.
tie, they end up 6th or 7th.
Which means.
The only spot they can't end up is 5th.
We have to play the 8-9. Who's 9 seed? Fireball's too deep.
If.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Fireball's too deep. So actually, like Miss Peaches, if they wanted an easy opening round game,
They
Oh,
would
the
just
game?
they would lose their game and they would play Fireballs too
He's
deep.
not recommending ever losing a game. Because that's
I
telling
don't
you guys
know.
how to play the system. I've never done it as well myself.
It generally doesn't work out well.
It's always worked out for me,
So
as of so far.
another team that can't control too much is kicked out. In most scenarios, kicked out is 7 or 8. However, there's one scenario they could get 6, which is if Balls of Glory win and Team 6 wins.
If I have them
Yep.
at 6. Because I think Balls of Glory and Team 6.
Oh, bring it.
I think so too. I agree with those. No, I agree with those. I think Balls of Glory will beat Winter Booze, and I think Team 6 will beat Miss Peaches.
Who's won or lose?
Freed.
That's
Friends.
Reed's team. They put
And
together a
they're-
pretty good season.
Yeah, they're pretty. I'm hearing
What is
that.
going on in the
You
background?
hear that?
It's not the damn
Hey,
word.
hey, stand over there behind the bodies and then do that.
I can't put the picture in the live feed.
Oh yeah, you
Just post it in the group.
just post it on the page itself.
You can't post it in the chat?
Mafala
Not
says every
pictures.
time Kevin makes an old man sound, drink.
Ugh.
God, that'd be like me then. Or if I say,
Lauren Motes asked a question.
Hi, Lauren.
Is Waka going to tighten up on the hostile players who flip other teams off, trip other players during game time, and
Oh.
insult other teams because they're drunk and losing?
yes,
Yes,
it's already been discussed
it's been
before
discussed.
the podcast. It's already been discussed before the podcast.
First of all, I
We
would like
got you,
to.
Lauren. We got you.
I would like to apologize for my behavior last Monday.
What'd you do again now this time?
So
Well,
Lauren,
just
you're
your
like
email,
almost a week
Commissioner.
late, but that's already being addressed. It's already being addressed.
But yeah, it's been addressed already. We're not gonna name names or anything, but this taken care of.
It is. It's being taken care of.
Alright, I posted it.
Get that enforcer on the job.
That's right.
I love how you're sipping that natty light, by the way.
Man, it is. It's rough.
That's why I chugged it.
That's true. I am kind of dragging it out.
It just
Nancy Nance wants to know who's baby.
Huh?
Fancy. Who's baby?
Well, I guess Tanya's technically a grandmother now, right?
What?
Huh?
No. That's
My
not the word we
goodness.
use.
Yeah, not yet.
No.
G-Mall.
Mima,
Oh, it's
Anna.
called boo-boo. Thank you.
a what?
That's not
Boo-boo? I've called private parts.
That's what it is.
Let me say that, Hoover girl.
Tanya's a vulva.
She's a vulva. Tanya's a
So I don't know. I mean,
I like that though. It's different.
for all these playoff
We'll
scenarios,
call you
there's,
Volvo from now
there's just too much variability. We're just gonna have to wait and see how things land, and it is gonna be what it like.
Well, you asked for
It's gonna be a
predictions,
fun
though.
night, yeah.
You asked for
There's only a
predictions.
couple games we can actually predict.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
I
yeah.
predict there are going to be 8 winners.
And
I
eight
think you're gonna be right.
Losers.
And again, I predict that Waterfield game's gonna be fire.
Although there technically could be a tie. And technically there will be 12 winners Monday night.
But it's
No.
not for playoffs.
Now you're just confusing
Money is
people.
not involved. We will keep going.
All right.
Just-
There's
Two of
only guaranteed 8 winners.
Yeah, but those two of those games aren't playoff games.
But they're still played Monday night.
But I mean, they could be ties.
So it's not 12, so it could be
He said
12
12 ties though. That's
All right. Let's jump into some of the mailbag stuff here. How do the standings look compared to the preseason rankings?
Well, the number one was
That-
guessed
yeah.
correctly. You got preseason rankings anywhere?
I mean, my preseason rankings would essentially be the groups I placed them in.
Oh, okay.
So,
So you got number two wrong.
based on your schedule, I think I got number 2 right.
On the schedule, yeah, but you didn't do my preseason though.
Well, I mean, I put you guys in
I know.
the,
Well, you know what?
the upper half of the bottom bracket, effectively.
No, yes, no, you did,
So,
and because I did have a lot of inexperienced players,
yeah.
they just happened to turn out to be decent players.
Because we pulled them from other.
Yeah, so I mean, so my top
Yeah.
four going in were Hot Boys,
Good coaching.
OG, Team 6, and Miss Peaches. Let's see if they are the top 4 top half teams. So Hot Boys, OG Hot Boys, Team 6, and Kicked Out is the same points as Miss Peaches, but Miss Peaches played 1 less game.
Yeah.
So I think pretty reasonable on that.
Wait a minute, so they have the same points though?
Well,
So what? Alright.
so Kicked Out right now is 5-3-0. Miss Peaches is 4-1.
Okay, never mind.
Who's kicked out?
That's Joe Kelly. They came from
Oh.
7 cities.
That's the Royal Blue Team.
Yeah. Fun group.
So I mean, I would say pretty close. The preseason pooling and scheduling are almost dead on, actually.
Okay.
Let's check that one off. Most dangerous team, not on paper.
Yeah,
Dangerous
see,
in what respect?
Yeah, what respect?
We've clarified.
Yeah, they did not specify.
Yeah.
The
'cause-
most dangerous team not on
Because there's
paper?
people that can carry knives. There's people that might not disclose COVID test results. There's
Ooh.
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I went there.
For the
Welcome
record,
to
I do
Massachusetts.
not carry knives.
Keep them
For the
Actually,
record, my last test result was negative.
I will
So was
say,
mine actually.
I was positive.
Back in July.
I will say Miss Peaches.
Most dangerous.
They're the only team that you didn't beat during the regular season. Hot Boys didn't beat. And Miss Peaches only allowed 12 runs all season. And every game they played has been close.
That's very true. Because
They have not had a game where they just had a bad game and they got blown out. Miss Peaches.
Who gave up the least amount of runs all season?
Hot Boys and Miss Peaches are both tied with 12 right now.
And then
After that,
And
the end of the
we have
spreadsheet,
17.
Ryan.
And which-
Wait,
hold on,
OG
time out.
Hot Boys after that.
really?
And then my question is, which one of those teams actually had their full team there every Monday?
Well, you're against it, though, right?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
It wasn't us.
I mean, like Red Hot, like we didn't have our full team.
Are you looking at run differential or points against?
Points against is tiebreaker.
I know, but Hot Boys has 12. Miss Peaches has 12.
That's still not as
And
good
then-
as that's not as good as that one season with Elite.
14's OG Hot Boys, and then us is 17.
I think we only gave
But
up.
I
I
would
think we
say
gave up
comparatively, compared to the level of
That's
teams you
insane.
played versus when Elite played in that season,
5. Yeah.
this was a much more difficult.
No, it's
season.
much more deeper. Yeah.
So you have 4 teams that have points against in the teens. And you have everybody else is in the 30s and 40s.
What the? That's a big spread.
Well, because a lot of these teams, they at least had one game or 2 games where it just slipped away from them. And they got a little bit of a blowout against them. So.
But back to what we were talking about with Miss Peaches. Yes, you're right. They're all their games have been close.
So, like, if I would say most dangerous team other than Hot Boys, that would be my pick.
But that's kind of like that's like a
They have a good squad.
that's a double-edged sword though, because you're saying all their games were close, which some of them shouldn't have been.
Well, I mean, yeah, it goes both ways,
Yeah.
but it also means that
I mean, just like we had
they
those
could beat
games we
any
shouldn't
team
have.
on any
Yeah.
day. They could also lose on to any team on any day, but
Any given Sunday. Any Monday.
Any given Monday.
any given Monday.
That's your new tagline.
Why are there so many teams tied for 3rd through 8th? Because they
It's
won
called
the same amount of games.
Simple math. No, I'm just kidding.
Not the real reason. Unlike normal seasons where there's a lot of blowout games and you have this huge gap, there were a lot of close games that people played. So
Well,
no
yeah,
team was
I-
able to get like instead of having 2 teams that only lost 1 game and the rest all lose 5 or 6.
But you also had a lot.
Spread.
You also had a lot of teams that played a lot of different teams, which didn't allow you to have hit tiebreakers too.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Kevin, yes.
What? It's true.
We had a lot of
Look at
teams
our
that
face.
played a
We
lot of
both-
teams.
You see what he's looking.
What the
No,
hell
I
did
mean,
you
okay,
say?
you had a lot of teams that didn't play each other, should I say.
That's
So,
fair.
That makes more sense.
Yes, there you go. Yeah. Again, yes.
Oh. Well, this one isn't exactly kickball related.
my senile brain.
I heard Kevin and Talbert won a costume contest. And their costume was guys that haven't gotten hit in 2020. Why isn't anyone taking care of them? You guys apparently knew about this because you started laughing as soon as I
Okay.
Look, as soon as you say costume
It
contest.
was
so
on
first of all-
Facebook.
First of all, just because you wear a costume doesn't mean it's true. I mean,
So you're admitting to this pair
Wait,
of
wait. Kevin, let's be careful about our words here.
Corey just said it was amazing.
I was
I'm not gonna tell the whole story. I can't tell the whole story. Yeah, that gives away too much. I told you to cut your ringer off. Sorry.
Somebody got mad at your answer.
Bitch!
He's on the floor.
Who called you, Kevin? I want to know who called you.
Oh my god. I can't.
Was that Gene or Corey?
No.
Anyway, it was just a joke that went. Would it go terribly right or terribly wrong?
I would say right.
Y'all won against a brothel hoe.
And against Egger, I don't know.
And
Corey said y'all won against Carissa. She was in
Yeah.
a brothel hoe.
We should not have won, but
We shouldn't have won.
it was.
Actually, I shouldn't have even went up there and written that because it was a private conversation we were having.
Oh no. It was epic though. I
If
mean,
you
that
weren't
was
at
like,
the reef on Friday, apparently we missed out.
yeah.
So there was a comment on tiebreakers. So the first tiebreaker is head-to-head.
That's what
I
you
did.
said.
Exactly.
We're rolling right into this now.
Second
Head-to-head.
tiebreaker is most wins.
I mean, it's 2020.
So winning is preferred to ties, and then third is points allowed.
Yeah, I'm not children.
That's pretty straightforward.
He touched
Anyway.
me.
She touched me more.
That's
Not according to your championship.
Alright,
No
what
comment.
happens?
No comment.
What happens if we get canceled for rain or during the playoffs?
You wait and see.
So if you would look at the schedule on the website, you would see that the playoffs start this Monday, conclude the following Monday, and the backup is Saturday the 14th.
It better not rain next Monday.
It's not supposed to.
Why?
Because I think probably about 60% of the league has a commitment that day.
Oh, sucks to be them.
Or maybe 80.
Alright, how can we wait until just now to have 8:30 games? I would love to not have to rush to the fields every day after work.
Is that Davin?
No name.
Wait,
They
is he
didn't
playing
name
this
it.
season?
Yes, he's on our team.
Late
I
games.
haven't seen him.
Late
Because he
games
get like
suck.
6:30
6:30
games.
Look, I know it can be rough getting there at 6:30 if you get off work late. But late games suck too. It sucks for the bar turnout as well.
Pretty sure 6:30 was mentioned when you signed up.
Also true. 8:30 for me. Like, there's a lot of leagues that run late games, like 8:30 games, even 9:30 games.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that.
I'm not either. I did that last week in another league, and I was just ready to go home at 8 o'clock. My body just felt it.
Yeah. No, it's
It's all downhill once you hit
look.
40.
There's
No,
just
it's not.
there's
No, it's
obviously
not.
there's gonna be some schedules that work better for some
I don't
people than
know.
others. People don't sign up and play Monday Night Kickball just for kickball.
I do it because I get paid for it.
I'm confused.
What else is new?
I mean, if we want to go buckets, we could just not pay, not pay for kickball.
That's true,
Buckets.
but people look. Let's.
I mean, you're right.
Let's just be honest about it. Like,
Just be that guy. that
Monday
shows
Night
up.
Kickball isn't the only kickball league out there.
That's true. What do you get? What do you pay for though? Never mind. We're not getting all this. Never mind.
But I mean,
COVID's put a damper on that.
it's true a little bit.
Let's help walk out actually. A lot. Because none of the other leagues in other cities can't run.
I
So
was just
Bayville's the only thing in town.
Virginia Beach.
If
Yeah.
you didn't have anything at Bayville locked in beforehand, you're not doing anything.
Really?
Monday Night Kickball is the biggest league this fall.
You cannot do anything in the city of Norfolk.
Well, I know Norfolk shut out.
Mafalda plays kickball on Mondays for Kevin Hugs only.
Yes.
He does give good hugs. If you've never had a Kevin hug, I highly recommend you.
Yeah, he
go.
hugs me too. So
Lauren
I'll
says
recommend
ain't
it.
no one
Apparently
showing
they're
up on the
not good enough.
14th.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
much
my
true.
daughter's. That's my youngest daughter's
Actually,
birthday.
I would
I'll be there.
guarantee more than half of the league would be there.
I disagree with that.
I'd be there.
Well, because again, think about the most of the teams and people you know.
But you're talking about two other
Big
tournaments.
tournament.
And you're talking about one annual tournament and one end of the season.
Well, I will throw this out there. Will Wheaton rule. There's no reason to have one of those particular tournaments on the 14th, late November.
All right, so you get that whole argument about field use.
You know.
What's the cutoff date now? It's gonna be that Sunday. The what? It's gonna be Sunday the 15th now for field use.
Yeah, I need to call and double check, but it's mid-November
So
is when
we can't use the
Parks and
fields
Rec,
after
yeah.
a certain date in November. They will refuse to give you any extension on any rental, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
And if you have any question about that, talk to the group that played fall softball in
Well, no,
2019.
talk to her because she ran the league back then.
Yeah,
I
'cause
cried.
our fall
Cried.
softball tournament was in
Yeah.
Spring.
And what was their answer? We are
March,
renting no fields after this
Yeah,
date.
they
yeah,
were.
it was
yes.
March of
Citywide
2020,
policy, yeah.
right before COVID.
So that's the biggest constraint we're working in is to try to make sure we have playoffs in 2020,
Yeah, so I mean, unless you want to wait until next year,
which is not a good option.
no, not at all.
Yeah, that, and like how many people showed up then for playoffs.
My whole team did at least.
My team didn't because
Yeah,
half
your
of
team
them
did.
freaking
Yeah.
got.
So
Oh yeah, they got
PCS.
they got
No,
deployed
that's-
somewhere.
the big reason we don't have 8:30 games, though, getting back to that original question, late games suck for a lot of people. Whether you work early, whether you want to have fun and hang out after your games.
I will say though, it improves the 2 a.m. bar photo.
Did you dip out on me?
I know I did. I'm not being one of those
Asshole.
I can't.
All right.
I probably should have stayed there.
So
You should've
there's
stayed
a
that
couple really long
'Cause I was all
mailbag questions here.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's go.
All right, so let's tackle the first one, and this is a multi-part.
Wow.
Multi-part.
So the actual question is, why was league scheduling not randomly generated?
Ooh.
The comment after it is based off potential outcomes for this Monday. There is a chance that the top tier teams. Some clarification on that. Identified by who is scheduled to play who during the manually generated schedule. 4 maybe out of the top 5 top tier teams could land in the same half of the bracket in a 16-team playoff. Well, that could happen.
Monkeys might fly out of my
What's a
ass.
randomly generated schedule going to do though? I mean, like it's random. So the top team could play all bottom teams.
Yeah, did you do my thing I recommended?
Random generator.
Oh, no, I didn't. I don't
Why-
have,
why-
I don't have
no,
an easy
who-
way to show it.
Who wants to listen to me? Who wants to listen to me? Well, you can tell them.
Why are we
Here,
even
but-
here? I'm just kidding.
Because we have nothing
But
else
I
to
mean, a
do on
randomly
Sunday night.
generated schedule is purely random.
So
There's
how
no
many-
guarantees.
fingers
How many weeks did we have?
Now my middle finger sock.
8 weeks of games. So 8 games, 8 weeks of games.
I'll see that there.
But I mean, there's no guarantee you're going to play. Like, if you're worried about uneven schedule affecting your playoff seeding, a randomly generated schedule would almost ensure that. It would actually, I would say, it would 100% ensure it. I mean, it's just the way numbers work.
Yeah.
What did happen with the manually generated schedule? The strength of schedule for your peers, if you will, was the same.
Yeah.
Identically the same, pretty much.
I mean, you can't do a randomly generated playoff schedule. That's
Well, I don't think they want a randomly generated. They did wanted the regular
Regular
season
season.
schedule.
well, I mean,
But again, that doesn't solve any problems because what if you're the number 8 team and you play teams all ranked below you?
Yep.
Then you're gonna look like you're an undefeated team when there's 7 teams better than you.
So you play
Why are
8.
you laughing? Tom?
Right. So you play. But so here's the thing: is you play 8
I plan
games.
things.
You play 8 games during the regular season. So the idea behind how you did it was that theoretically you would play 8 games of the 8 closest competitors to your potential seeding,
Right.
which we've already kind of gone over is that you got most of those seedings somewhat correct. So if you were coming into the season as a number 1 seed, you wouldn't play anybody 10 through 16. You would play 2 through 9.
Right.
Whereas if you did random, then the number 1 seed could have played 4,
10, 14,
5,
13,
7, 8,
16.
and then 4 teams that were like 11, 12, 14, and 15, which would have created a much different, like. But I mean, it worked both ways.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, and here's the thing: at the end of the day, every team makes the playoffs. So it's not like you're getting cheated out of the playoffs because you finished low or high.
You have to win your last game anyways to become
Tubi
champion.
said
That's
that's
true.
why there should be 2 divisions.
Well, and here's the thing: the way the schedule was worked up was essentially like 2 divisions. There just weren't 2 separate playoff brackets.
But next,
We did
but
talk about that.
right, but we talked about next spring if you had the same 16 teams,
Yeah.
Potentially.
you might actually create 2 divisions. So
It's been discussed.
The only thing about having 2 playoff brackets, it would require even more game slot times to make it happen.
And 2 trophies.
It's more of a minor issue.
I was joking.
And we were coming.
I do the
I'm
same
serious.
one, just throw
with
another label
COVID
plate on it. But,
when you were doing.
Actually, yeah, you would.
yeah.
You just have Coke or Coke champs.
But no, and here's the end of the day. Like, I see this comment coming from realistically one of the top half teams who pretty much got their ass beat all this season. If I had to guess, I'll call it out. They probably won 1 or 2
Boy,
games.
it's chilly in here in this shade I'm in.
And they're worried about their entire season's going to be over if they have to play one of the teams that they're going to have to beat to win a championship anyway in the first round. Is that really a bad thing?
No.
So they didn't get a freebie game against a lower half team prior to getting bounced. Did it affect anything? No. I don't see it.
If your assumption's correct, yes,
That's true.
But
I mean, who knows who it actually came from? I don't know.
it could have came from me. Who knows?
I submitted that question.
Man, Kevin, why are you causing problems?
He's got backup.
I wanna know
Alright,
if that's
so
about me.
here's another one. Why was the league not capped to ensure the league would be completed by the dates advertised? So the original advertised date was November the 9th. Currently, playoffs are scheduled to wrap up on November the 9th.
All right,
So,
so
where's the problem, folks?
well, there was an initial worry about the limitation that the city put on you. That was the initial concern.
So
Yes.
the original 12-team cap was based on COVID restrictions, which were lifted like 2 weeks or 3
Yeah,
weeks
right.
before the season
Yeah,
started.
and that's how I snuck up in there. So blame me.
Likewise, with the addition of more teams, why did Waka delay more than halfway through the season to address the issue with playoff scheduling? I was
Yeah,
in
read that
constant
No, all right.
communication.
Oh, come again?
Whoa. It said, likewise, with the addition of more teams, why did Waka delay more than halfway through the season to address the issue with playoff scheduling?
I thought you had.
So
talked
was
about
that
since the
playoff
beginning.
scheduling as
Since-
far as like?
The date of the playoffs or when the playoffs would happen.
Or
I've been
also-
in constant communication
With
with the
the
captains
captains.
from week 3 on about potential playoff scenarios.
Yeah.
I'm not a captain.
Let me-
So,
Because I
if
know.
you were a player and you were unaware, your captain decided not to tell you, which is not my problem.
The finger pointing will answer enough. I don't have to speak.
But, and I'll throw this out there for the case of one particular tournament. Playoff dates for Monday night were locked in well before that tournament date was scheduled or even officially formally announced.
Yeah, and it's not like you guys go out and try to find reasons to not
Yeah.
have people there. Because I mean,
Well,
what's the point
they
of that?
don't? Ryan, you don't do that? Oh. Shit.
I mean,
I mean, I'm shocked too.
one of the most important factors of my
I'm
job
shocked
is
too.
getting people included in the league, so
No, I know.
it's kind of counterproductive.
And we know you make it rain and
I mean, I made the rain dance happen today. So
I couldn't have played if I wanted.
I got asked to make it rain, and I made it rain.
Sorry, folks.
So obviously, like, if we got
I did
a large league like this again, the division thing will be something that I have to look at. Whether if creating 2 formal divisions makes sense, whether it buys us anything, whether
Make
it
you some
loses
old
us
man
anything.
sounds when you come back now.
Oh, yeah, people have to drink. Oh, there we go.
I made the dad noises when I stand up. What's left over there? You got one more brown egg for her right now, right?
I got more in the fridge too if people want some.
Yeah, I want whatever you got in the fridge. Give me some of Ryan's good beer.
Let's
You,
see
you
what's in
opened
there.
yourself up. I was just gonna get one of the Bud Lights up.
Corona.
Oh, never mind. He's over here.
Wait, no,
He's downplaying this. Give me
Hold
something
on.
that you can understand what it says.
A Schofferhofer?
Yes.
Oh.
The Wasserhund, yes.
No. It's
It's a Hefeweizen.
it's a grapefruit.
I love
Hefeweizen.
Hefeweizen. Let me have that, please.
Go for it.
Yeah,
Show
give
him
it to
off,
me.
right, I believe.
Yeah, I begged him and he
Please.
gave it to me. I said please.
Okay.
You hear me?
No, I wasn't.
I don't say it to you.
I wasn't listening.
And just as a general thing, like in the past, I've always tried to keep playoffs on Monday night as much as possible. Even last fall when we had 11 teams. Although I will add there were some conspiracy theories generated
They're
on
always.
keeping the playoffs on a Monday night and splitting it over 2 nights.
I don't
If
know,
there
man.
weren't conspiracy theries, would it really be Monday Night Kickball?
I mean, there's a
That's
conspiracy
true.
theory already this week because there's an 8:30 game.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna get rained out.
With the 1% chance, right?
Drink. So no, I've done my best to accommodate, but the reality is, I don't think there's anybody that can name one kickball league in Hampton Roads that hasn't had a weekend playoff for a league more than 8 teams.
No,
So-
I'm not gonna picture of this.
16-team league having playoffs on a weeknight is an abnormality in the extreme. It is
This is
not
funny.
normal.
This is good.
That's Good.
We'll try this.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm doing my best to make it happen, but it may not.
Yeah, you might have
We'll see.
COVID.
We'll see.
Where's my mask?
Alcohol kills germs, though. We're
So
good.
should we open that can of worms?
But now alcohol kills germs.
No.
No, the COVID
No.
can of worms.
Yeah, I think it needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
No, I think that I think what we can say about COVID is
It sucks.
if you've been in direct contact with anybody, isolate yourself, go get tested. If you have any symptoms, stay home.
Be responsible.
If you're responsible. That's
And
the
I mean,
easiest
and it's no joke. I
But-
mean, like, and,
It's
and,
no
and
joke.
I'm not, yeah,
As
I'm not saying
somebody
this.
who's had it,
And my
please be
my
responsible, because I had a mild case and there were 2 nights I cried. I thought I was gonna die. I'm not kidding.
and
I
my
could not
uncle,
breathe.
my uncle's in the hospital right now with it. He's been in the hospital now for about 10 days. From a wedding that I went to, so I had to isolate for about 10 days, and that's why I was able. I think I missed 2 weeks of kickball.
I miss you too.
I miss you more.
So, but no, it is. I mean, it's just I know a lot of people participated in quite a few tournaments recently and everything. So just
Take it
Be
seriously,
careful.
please.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I will say this. So a bunch of people recently got an email
I never got
as a
email.
personal
You
notification
weren't in.
because they were potentially exposed at an event. It was not Waka's event, but through direct first-hand information, we got information about an outbreak. So we were trying to be as diligent as possible, notifying people to protect our leagues and our players in our leagues. That was the main goal, because that's important. Obviously, all of our normal screening stuff is going to be in place this coming Monday.
But I mean, like, and this is no. I mean, I know everybody's doing it. My work does it and everything, but I'll say this about the temperature checks and everything. Like, don't rely on them. Like, I mean, seriously, guys, it's a bunch of BS. Like the temperature check aspect of it. Like,
Yeah, because
know,
there's so many people that are asymptomatic.
right.
Or don't
Know
have a
what it
fever.
is that you're doing, who you're around, and what you've been around. And so, like, I don't mind sharing with y'all. Like, my whole scare came from a wedding that I went to. My cousin got married. He's like my little brother. And went to the wedding. There was probably about 100, 110 people at the wedding. And I think the last one I got was maybe about 42, 45 people from the wedding tested positive.
Wow.
Yeah.
So clearly it went rampant. The facility it was at, there was 20 employees that got positive as well. So, I was very fortunate that from being at the wedding and also the home that we stayed in the whole weekend, there were 6 of us that stayed in the home, and my mom and I were the only 2 that didn't get it. So the other 4 that got it, and then the whole wedding party, both on the groom's and bride's side, got it.
Wow.
So I mean, count my blessings, but it's just be vigilant. I mean, sanitize, wash hands. Wear
And that's the
wear a
thing too.
mask
Like, by the time game time rolls around tomorrow, we may have more
as
information.
well. Just sitting here.
I'm gonna be talking with Brent a little bit more too. So there may be decisions related to Monday that we may make that are forthcoming. It might be last minute. But again, our number one goal is to protect players. And from a selfish standpoint, if we have an outbreak in a league, I mean that's going to shut down the league for multiple weeks. So it's something we want to avoid too. Like an absolute worst case scenario, like let's say we cancel a reservation because we have an outbreak, but shut down our league, and the city starts poking around like, well, why'd you cancel your reservation? There wasn't rain. And then we're like, well, we were concerned about an outbreak, and right now, State of Virginia Beach is one of the only cities leasing fields. They may be like, well, you know what, this is too much of a risk, let's stop permitting. Pull all permits now, done. So that's the kind of thing that could end kickball for everybody for a long period of time. So we're obviously going to be cautious about it.
And quite honestly, I mean, just again, not a political statement, not a medical statement, just looking at numbers. I'm a numbers-driven, analytical type person. Within the next month or 2, we're going to be going back into what we're able to do. I mean,
Well, no, I mean, right now the numbers
the numbers are
are
on
back where in
average,
July, where they were in June and
right?
July.
And they're
so-
increasing on a 7-day rolling average. The positivity rate's going up. Like
We're going into flu season too.
exactly.
And that's gonna be.
Well, and
So,
that's why flu
lot of
season is flu
mistakes.
season, because people, when it gets colder, people are in closer proximity. They're indoors. near other people. They're not spread out as much.
And you get a little bit of a runny nose. Like, I mean, honestly, I mean, not to, be all disgusting and everything, but, I mean, that's, when you go get tested, where do they put the swab? Up your nose.
It's horrible. I've gotten a test and
So, I mean, think about it. If you wipe your nose with your sleeve, with your hand, whatever it may be, or even when you blow it into a tissue, still, like, if you aren't washing your hands after you, blow your nose, then, I mean, there's a potential for spreading the virus.
No, and I mean, I got tested almost 3 weeks ago, and
why'd you have a reason to get tested?
because I had a head cold, and congestion's not
I was
a
joking.
congestion's not a common COVID symptom. It's a rare one, but it's still one. So I had a head cold with coughing. Don't know. So went ahead and get tested. Obviously maintain isolation. But
Yeah, I had gotten tested back in July.
I've been
Yeah,
tested
that's
five.
the thing.
I've been tested 5 times.
Sorry to hear that, dude.
Yeah.
I've had that one that sucked. But
But, I
anyway,
mean,
mouth
but-
swabs.
Right, but I mean, I also I've not had to work from home. I've been going into work, and I had
Yeah, I
to
haven't
actually work
done
from
it
home.
either.
So
I had to go to work. But
I mean,
That's
I
great
think
that
we
they
worked from home for like 6
Caitlin
months.
said we need to stop making out at Bucketheads per the CDC. Not we.
yeah, that's
I
it.
mean,
There's no we.
We, like, as a league.
Yeah.
Well, look, seriously though, and in all seriousness, if you were at the Reef Friday night, you would know there's not a lot of physical activity going on. So we're safe, or at least I am safe,
I'm safe as well.
and Talbert is safe. Okay.
Yeah. I'm safe, everybody.
I think COVID is mouth to mouth, isn't it?
I thought it was mouth to south.
Oh,
Can you get from mouth to south?
that's exactly why I'm safe.
Somebody Google that.
Same here. That's why I'm safe. I don't get that. I
So-
that mouth to south.
yeah, back to the original thing though. There was no delay on discussing the playoff schedule, at least with the captains. So if you felt that there was no notice on the playoff schedule, your captains were probably not in regular communication with you.
Give me one more time.
Talbert.
I've
No,
had
one more
a
time.
conversation with him about
Weeks
his
ago.
lack of communication.
Oh, that was his
I
point.
And here's the other
So
thing too, like
I think here's the thing I can say about that and everything, and I know I talked to you about this one night out there, is I think that it's pretty predominantly known what leagues have their end of season tournaments on the night that they play or have it on the weekend. So I think that's kind of a nice consistency, a consistent thing to have. Ever since I played Monday Night Raw,
What are we missing by not going to Bucketheads?
I think I'm gonna start going.
who have said that?
Corey
Corey.
said the damn floor at Bucketheads needs to be COVID tested after the Mafalda and Caitlin Wall battles. I can't even read it 'cause I'm laughing.
But no,
Sorry.
shit, what was I saying? Oh, no, just the fact that, like,
Beers are dangerous.
just having, like, the consistency. Like, I've always had an expectation of, if I'm playing Monday Night Waka, that the tournament's
because
going to
that's
be on Monday night.
yes, because that league is always.
If I
been
play,
there.
if I play Thursday Night Core, and it's A-League, then the tournament's going to be on Saturday. If I play Seven Cities, it's going to be on Saturday. Like, so I think that consistency and everything is just kind of like, again,
It's
I'm not
sad,
trying to
though.
speak for anybody. I'm just trying to interpret what
no,
I'm hearing.
and like last
And,
fall,
and that's why I mentioned
last
to you.
fall when we
it's
had
like-
11 teams. That is why I tried really hard, because 11 teams was not expected. I was expecting about 8. I tried to go overboard to make sure playoffs was on a Monday, but the reality is, when you get up like towards 16 teams, you can't have the playoffs on a weeknight. There's just not enough time.
So would you ever? Okay, so going back to our question about if you have 16 teams and spring again, would you ever consider going to a competitive social division?
Don't we already discussed
Yeah.
this?
No, I thought we discussed having 2 different
I
divisions.
mean,
Well, that's
But
kind of
still,
what the idea.
we-
Like
Yeah.
unspoken.
Yeah.
but I
It
thought
would-
there
I'll
was
run
going to
it
be
out. Go
crossover.
ahead.
it would not be a situation where teams could self-select into one or the other. That would definitely not be the scenario.
But why not?
Because kind of what I talked
Because
about
hot
earlier.
boys
Would be in a
would
social.
be like,
division.
oh, let's be social.
Well,
No,
I'm not
no,
saying
no,
that,
no,
but
no.
hypothetically.
Because
No,
there,
because-
there would
No,
be.
No,
so
I-
again,
yeah,
but
I'm
there's
not
other
saying
leagues,
specifically.
but right, but there's other leagues out there.
Then go play in those leagues.
We'll never see that.
No, but look, I mean,
We know what your
like-
IQ is.
right, but I mean, the thing is that going into this league, you had 16 teams, and you sat there and you created the schedule based upon knowing who the teams were and what the schedules were. So clearly, as a commissioner, you could sit there and say, okay, I know that this is going to be a dominant team. Now, I get there might be 4, 6, maybe 8 teams that you're kind of like, oh shit, where do I have to put these people? But predominantly, you at least had 5 teams in this season that were going to be competitive teams that could have gone into a competitive division.
Yeah.
You probably at least had 5 or 6 teams that you could sit there and say, these are out here more for a social and all that type of stuff,
Yeah.
right? So again, I mean, I'm not saying maybe it has to be next spring, you know, but just something to think about of keeping the collective community together the same night, but recognizing the fact that there's 2 different calibers of teams, and you know, having people want to go.
Again, that's essentially what happened this season with the manual scheduling.
Right.
The only difference would be that there were not 2 separate playoff brackets.
Exactly.
That's the only thing.
So let's just say, hang on, let's just play devil's advocate here. We do a split it up, right? We'll just call one Division A and Division B. You have 12 teams signed up.
Then you don't do it.
No, listen. I mean, well, all right. Let's say you do 16. Do it. Would you do it in 16?
I think you do it at 14 or 16. You won't do
Okay,
it
so let's say 16. Let's say 10 of those teams are actually competitive. And they're established non-competitive teams. What do you do then? You put.
Well,
put 8. You put 2 competitive
No,
teams in the social
no. I
bracket.
think. Well, clearly, here's the thing, though: is even if you sit there and say, "Okay, I've got 10 competitive teams," you're going to know on paper who the bottom half of that league is.
Well, on paper, my team's the second best in the league right now. Would you consider me a second, like the top tier?
Okay, but we're talking about results because of who you played during the
You
season.
said paper.
Well, that's
Where
Yeah,
where
okay,
was
you
your
said on
team? Where was your team coming into the season?
Right, you have to take, if it's a brand new team, where you have to go, you can't just, you might have a roster,
This is your
but you
chance
can't
right
jump in.
now to start your new team.
He's
That-
opening the door,
that-
Kevin, and you're not walking through it,
Walk
honey.
through that door, baby. Just walk through
Get
that
off of me.
Get out of my way.
Our time.
Don't talk about that no more. We got you.
But yeah, it's again, it's something I was not prepared for it this season because I didn't expect 16 teams.
But I mean, I think that's the thing, though, is like
And
if
you're
people,
limited up front.
like right, but if people want to sit there and be like, okay, well, what about this? What about that? A lot of it has to go with longevity, right? And what happens season to season. And a lot of these other examples that we're talking about are from leagues that have a continuous season after season, you know, 16, 20, 24, 30 teams that participate in multiple different levels of competition. So I think that, you know, as you've mentioned before, that teams are continuing to grow and participate, that once it gets to a level consistently, then you can implement those types of things. Now, it's going to be growing pains until you get to that point.
Yeah.
This, like you said, before this was 11, so I've been playing for 5 or 6 years, so this is only the second season
You've been playing
out
since I
of
started, so yeah.
This is only the second season. There's never been more than 8 teams.
right. So there's never been a reason for it. So if it consistently stays high, then you adapt, and I think that you could establish it like some other leagues do, like kind of like what Premier Soccer does, right? If you're a top 1-2 team from a lower division, then next season you go up.
Yeah.
But a lot of that also has to do with the fact of teams staying together.
Well, and that was a big thing. So this season, kind of the middle ground solution was to not last minute split it up into 2 divisions, but to schedule it that way so people could have better regular seasons. So that was a decision I made this season. I would say 99% of people seem to be happy with it. There's a few people that I guess they wanted to play weaker teams so they could blow them out every other week or something. I don't know, but
That's not fun though.
It's not.
I don't think it's fun. But some people wanted that.
Like I mean, like
But,
in
you
serious.
know.
I mean, like with maybe the exception of last week because there was a little talking going on in the Facebook chat prior to. But I mean, generally, if we come into a team and we know that we're gonna down,
Do you
like-
come into a team?
we come into a team, not just one person, but we
Okay.
come into the team, right?
You know, it's one person,
So-
the whole team.
And hence what I'm saying is when we
You
come
know you
into
gotta
the
do.
week to play the team, right? Like I don't want to say we're gonna play down to the level, but like we go out and have fun. We enjoy the game. Like so, yes, as much as we're a competitive team and everything, we're still out there from the social aspect and to have fun. And I will say, from one thing that I saw that I know I did myself as well as I saw 2, 3, 4 other players from our team doing, is after the game against who was it we played Balls of Glory last week?
Last week was Balls of
Yeah,
Glory.
so we played Balls of Glory. Is that we went to some other guys and gave them, said, hey, look, hey, great guy, great job. Like, try this, do this. Like, and to me, that's what the community is about.
Hello, I'm your new host. Ryan went to go to the restroom.
It's going downhill now.
Anything involving
Our
me?
time.
Oh,
Our time.
Let me see the.
Hang on a second.
Why are you drawing that penis?
Because
And that's a crooked penis.
it's a
Where's
self-portrait.
Oh shit.
So you're like Jim Carrey. Hey, how's it hanging? From short and shrivel to the right.
Low, loose, and full of juice. Okay? My shoes are shining, my belt's tight, my balls are swinging from left to right.
Did you play? Have we already gone through all?
Yeah.
Check the mailbag.
All
Hey,
right.
kid, check the mailbag while you're pissing in there.
Hey, we need some more questions.
We need more questions from the audience that are relevant, please.
Yes.
Before it's time for the big announcement.
Oh
There's
yeah.
There's a big announcement.
There is a big
There is a big
announcement.
announcement.
It's
I'm
huge.
pregnant.
It's huge.
It's huge.
How'd you know that from Friday night already?
I can just feel it inside me.
Oh my god.
I need new friends. I'm now accepting applications.
Ah, please. We're all you need.
I love you guys.
I like you a lot.
All right, are there any more
I
available
looked at you
questions?
when I said
Because apparently there's a penis on here for you.
Yeah,
Why'd you draw a penis? on
Tanya
me?
drew a dick on there for you.
Why are you leaving, Tanya? You're supposed to talk about winter draft.
Well, there's a big announcement.
Apparently, it was the last penis she saw. It was pretty short and shriveled.
Damn.
She never saw mine.
I'm sorry, Kevin.
Well, according to Friday Night Noise, he liked penis this year, so.
But they never put it in their mouth anyway.
Or, right.
Yeah.
Watch your hands, Nancy.
I did, Nancy. Anyway, so talk about winter draft, Tanya.
So winter draft
Go pee real quick.
is. Well, I didn't have to slow sip that
Natural light.
that natural light.
I think there's some left.
Oh.
Ew. It's warm.
That's the only way you can drink it.
So winter signups
Tastes like
are
ice cream.
going on now.
Is it at the sports complex again?
The early
Yeah.
bird special, is going on for the month of November. It's at the Hampton Roads Soccer Complex on turf.
Early bird special, $99.95.
I mean, you might get the senior discount.
Burn.
Hey, wait, that means
Yes.
I get it too then.
For me, I created it.
Well, yeah, you did. If you did.
So if you want to take a look at our group page, the Virginia Beach group page, because we couldn't get it, so you guys can go live out here. But our first set of captains,
Drum roll, please.
drum rolls.
Kevin, do the drum roll.
Yeah, you got the table.
Hold on, you gotta hold on a minute.
You didn't say how fast.
The first set of captains for winter draft are Mafalda and Caitlin.
Woo!
Ooh.
I
Girl
thought it was supposed
power!
to be.
Wait a minute.
Boy
I
and
thought it was
girl.
supposed to be male and female.
Why?
No, because that's how it was always told us before.
But
This is atrocity.
she's the commissioner and she can do what she wants.
I need a male co-captain. I'm joking.
I mean, you can. You
Nope.
still have to meet
Nope.
the same number
I
of
already have my
requirements.
co-captain.
There has to be at least one female captain in the captain set.
I'm kidding. Y'all have fun.
I know Kevin,
Anyway,
he's
and
not
it
even
took away
playing.
from there's a video out there. The captains are welcoming you. They are with team The Finer Things. And
Fancy.
yes,
Fancy.
their team color is
Purple.
Kelly. Oh shit.
Green.
Yeah, but there's another word in there.
Hunter.
So,
Yep. Wait.
go watch the video.
There's
What
a video?
Yeah, I just posted it. I
Oh.
couldn't release it early. Come on now.
I mean, I released mine early.
How early?
Oh
Well,
god.
it depends on what we're doing.
They're
Too
children
early.
presents.
So those are your
She
your
doesn't
first
know,
set
but
of
I'm fine.
captains.
Hey, let's just put it. You don't have to worry about kids anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
We do have 3 more ready, but I can't announce them until you guys sign up.
And for those captains that are waiting, they better have their team name and color ready to go.
Yes.
Kelly Kapoor Green.
Kelly Kapoor Green, that's what it is.
What does that mean?
So I have a question. Who's the sponsor bar for Winter Draw?
Why you gotta ask that question right now?
Cause I'm curious.
It
I
is-
heard that about you. That's why I'm pregnant. I'm sorry.
We are still exploring options. However, comma,
Oh.
Casual Pint
I knew
is
that.
very excited to have us back again.
I like that place.
That owner's a really
The
cool
owner
little
is
dude.
awesome.
Yeah.
I
What
like
is
it.
it?
And his wife is so sweet.
I would-
No, he seriously.
The food wasn't that great though.
Really?
I said have a beer, but I actually enjoyed the burgers.
They
and wings
have an
there.
amazing beer selection.
There's
No,
some
they do.
West
Okay,
Echols
no,
are
they
amazing.
did.
Yeah, and the
It had good-
pretzels are really good.
Yeah, the pretzels were
If
good.
you're
too.
like into carbs like me.
And me now again.
But no, yeah, the owners are awesome and they truly like
They care.
they care and like they appreciate that we're there.
They'll go to every table and talk to you.
Mhm.
Not weirdly.
They're sweet.
They're
Just
sweet.
they're a sweet older couple.
They have board games and things there for kids to play. So if you do have children, you can bring them there.
It
And
was Sunday afternoon.
unfortunately, they were supposed to expand into the space next door, doubling their overall space.
Oh,
They're a
yeah.
little. They're a little.
Wait,
COVID,
COVID,
delayed that.
pre-COVID,
So.
yeah.
COVID, man.
What about Dirty Buffalo?
We went to them multiple times and they were no. They
No?
pretty much straight up no.
No.
And apparently Lauren, I think it was Lauren, gave us some insight into that because we just got told to no, and she said that she called out another kickball league and said that they were a sponsor and basically no one showed up,
Yeah.
and
say
so
got
they
burned.
decided to
They got
stop
burned.
doing social
Sponsoring.
sports league sponsorships.
Gotcha.
But now how many places did we hit up last year, Tonya?
A lot.
12, 13
A
different
lot.
places.
A lot.
I know a place that's itching to become sponsored.
Let's
How
talk
close
about
is
this
it
offline.
And where-
Is
yeah.
it within 10 minutes of the field?
Okay.
Not your house. I mean, we could go to your house.
Can we get a Waka Chesapeake League, please?
Well, never mind. That was
Tuesday night, Waka Chesapeake League.
Y'all have fun with that.
Are you starting it?
I'll start it. There's no other kickball league on Tuesday nights.
No, wait,
No,
there's not. And
there was 7 cities tried, but then COVID hit.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say COVID.
So I will say this. Obviously, we're always trying to start new leagues where there's interest.
Poll. Let's take a
Tuesday
poll.
Chesapeake, yes. 100%.
Tuesday for Club Walk is typically cornhole night, and that's something we're going to be starting
Where?
over here,
on the south side.
How many people play cornhole? Play kickball?
I play cornhole. Well, not competitively or in a league.
I did
You
for
play
like.
cornhole.
I did for one season. in
Cornholer,
I'm a
yeah.
cornholer.
We all know.
So
that.
realistically,
Yeah, we do.
we would probably want to try to launch a Wednesday or Thursday kickball league.
No, that won't work.
In the
Thursday.
spring or fall?
Thursday won't.
Well,
I don't know
because-
timeline.
Well,
I'm not
I
gonna
was
promise
gonna
a
say
timeline.
right now,
No,
Waka
no.
has a fall bowling league, and they're also going to do a winter bowling league on Wednesday nights.
Thursday nights don't work. Wednesday
Thursdays.
nights.
Okay,
There's
so
already
this
at
whole-
least 3 other things going on.
Yeah.
Because look, here's the reality. So obviously Monday night doesn't have a lot of competition as far as stuff being on Monday night.
That's why I chose Monday.
Numerically, statistically, Monday night is a horrible night to do kickball for the people that participate in social sports. I don't think it is because what else are you doing on a Monday night? But Wednesday and Thursday nights are typically the big nights.
So what if we split the Virginia Beach League into Virginia Beach Chesapeake Monday night?
Hey, what were you saying?
But then you could end up with 4 teams in Chesapeake and 4 teams in Virginia Beach.
Yeah, you have like
Like
half.
8
the
your
four
average.
Like I said, we're always exploring options.
I'm just talking out
What
loud.
were you
I know.
saying
Um,
earlier about Wednesday night?
we'll see.
But Chesapeake could draw North Carolina.
Well, Western Branch would probably be your best bet to do anything anywhere.
Anyway,
Great Bridge.
No, Great Bridge.
I agree.
Yeah, Great Bridge though. Yeah, Great Bridge.
I don't know. Like I said,
Because
Brett and I
seriously,
talk
I mean,
about it
like,
a lot.
until
We're always
until
looking
the
for
Maybe
new
we'd rather
HRBT
Friday, so.
until the HRBT project is done, I mean, like, you know, Chesapeake, Great Bridge, Hickory area is like 30 minutes from the peninsula. It's a lot easier of a drive.
But I don't know. Like I said, there'll always be options. Obviously, if we maintain 16 plus teams on Monday nights, that's realistically kind of at the max capacity that I really want. Because I don't want to have these 8, 9:30 games. I really don't want that. I don't think it's good for the league overall as far as people having fun, going out with the bar.
We could always start at 5:30.
Let's start at 4:30.
Yeah, I don't think that'll work out too well.
I mean,
I
I'd
could
be
make
there.
that,
I'd
but
be there.
you know, I'm out there that early anyway every week, setting up fields. So
All by yourself.
now I gotta help this season.
Myself.
But
We need more questions.
Relevant questions. You gotta be specific. Don't just ask for questions, because whenever Brett used to ask me for questions, I'd ask him like the most ridiculous stuff I could find.
You know.
What's the are there any new activities, sports coming to Waka and then
Cornhole, apparently.
foreseeable future?
You and me can go cornholing on
bowling is new
Tuesdays.
for us.
Alright, so
Okay,
bowling.
let's talk
Yeah,
about bowling.
no, let's talk about bowling, because she was gonna mention something earlier about it.
Okay, so obviously, okay. The only reason I signed up for bowling is because Tonya was running it, and I love Tonya.
Same here.
I can't
Yeah,
bowl.
No bullshit. You like bowling?
It is so freaking fun.
She likes it now.
We have such a good time.
Yes.
Is there gonna be there's a winter bowling league?
Yeah.
Is it
Oh,
where
my
at?
team's already.
AMF
AMF
Lynhaven.
Lynhaven.
Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
But it's so fun. It's,
It's
so
fun,
fun. And you
yeah.
don't have to
Why
be
is that
good
not
at
in
it.
Virginia Beach?
Because
Because
you
it's
moved.
over half
No,
Why
because
did
you
you
moved.
move, Kevin?
Because you moved. Because you had a great deal on a
Because
condo.
Virginia Beach sucks.
Because what?
Wanna go outside?
Yeah.
Let's go outside. Put your shoes back on first, though. I don't want to get my socks. Got middle fingers.
Lauren, do you want to bowl with me? It's super duper fun.
There's a bowling alley that's
What, to
really
get rid of
nice
your
in
team?
Chesapeake. Just saying.
And
And-
start a league.
I was
Start
gonna
a
say,
league.
sounds like it needs a commissioner.
You've been itching to do something.
Tuesday night winter bowling, Waka, Chesapeake.
Make it
my
happen.
God. I'm not signing up for your league too, though.
Why not?
Oh damn.
You have to pay my registration.
I think I've been known to do that.
I've never done that.
We've
either.
never paid for anyone's
Never paid for
registration.
anyone else's registration.
We got 2 bowling participants ready to start a league.
Nancy's a freaking amazing bowler. She
Yes,
kills
she
it.
is.
Is
I
she-
haven't-
is she
Oh,
leading,
yeah.
Wednesday night women.
I have a
She-
bowling
Yeah.
I have a bowling
Yeah.
trophy.
From when you were 10.
No, when I was in college.
Walk a 5K. Dewey? No. Hell no.
Nobody wants to walk
No.
that because I'm not going to run that far. Actually, I did my 10K the other night.
No, but if you put a group together, we could do like some kind of community event.
Hey, is that like a 5K 1,000 person relay?
Get 100 people out there and do a relay. And that's a beer.
Somebody gave it a
Oh.
bad face.
That was
Hold on.
weird. Huh, what's the one that you have to they have 2 out there. Wasn't it like there's the was it the 4x100? You had to chug a beer every time around the lap.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's the one that you had to eat a
I'll
crispy,
do
you had to eat a donut.
Yeah,
every
see,
time.
I'll do a 5K if we can have stations.
Yeah, if we could do a relay.
Like, yeah.
I'll do yeah.
Hi, Chris Wood. Welcome to the shit show.
He was so excited to see this today. He signs in latest shit.
What? You missed the whole thing?
Yeah, he just.
I was gonna say,
Well, he
is
probably
he
just
just
woke up
waking
to
up
get
to
ready
go
to
to work?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It works.
I might let you learn.
Hi, Chris. Again.
Wait,
Amy said hi first, but I'm saying it again.
You missed all the talk about
You missed all the talk about you.
wait.
Go back and rewatch it.
From the beginning.
From the very beginning. And you'll figure out.
Yeah, it's
what
only
we're
a little
talking
over an hour. It's fine. You had nothing else to do.
about. Besides get dressed and go to work and drive an hour to get there.
Listen to it on the way. Hey, perfect timing. Listen
Right.
to it on the way.
But we're more of a visual audience than a vocal
Put
audience.
your phone on. While
I
you're
don't know. I didn't have too many graphic things that show up.
There's a lot of graphic stuff going on.
No.
over
Oh,
there.
in that
Yeah.
corner.
It's okay.
Kevin was taking pictures, which was kind of weird.
I
I'm not
know.
gonna lie.
to me later.
Do we have anything else to talk about? Are we done?
I mean,
When's
my
the
last
next
name is
podcast?
on my list.
3 months?
It's been a while.
It's going to be after the championship.
September was the last one.
Good lord.
Ooh. There's been so much other stuff that was a higher priority.
Dewey
than,
wants to know if we're doing Waka Awards again.
Oh, we should.
Yes.
Are we?
Yes.
Did that just come up as yes or? Did you
No,
already think
it
about
was planned. There are a few
Ooh.
tweaks from last time.
Time out. I have a really good question.
Hurry up and ask it.
What happens if you're the 2-time wine award winner?
Can you wear it back to back?
No,
You
time
can.
out. No,
You can
hold
win
time
it.
out. I haven't whined that much this year.
You haven't been there much this year.
I think I've gotten a little under control.
You're not a captain.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway,
The
what is
3
your
times
question?
you showed
Okay,
up.
shut up and let Kevin ask his question, please.
End of the
I
season
said
party.
please.
You did.
What about it?
Schedule. Ideas.
Not
thoughts?
scheduled yet, but
Somewhere other than Bucketheads.
it will probably be Bucketheads because with the COVID situation and our bar sponsors,
They don't
instead
care.
of paying
They
a
really-
sponsorship fee because they're in a little bit of a harder financial time, we're working out party deals instead.
And they clearly don't have very many COVID restrictions.
Ah,
I mean, I was out there hanging out during the whole pandemic thing.
you
So
were not.
I was not.
if you would like a date, I will say tentatively Saturday, November the 14th would be the party date.
Hold on, something's on.
But what if the playoffs happen today? So we're gonna do it then?
And there's all those. That's
Because the week after you start pushing into Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. This
so-
happened last year too.
Yeah.
But you know what? We had the biggest end of season party last year.
Oh God, I barely remember that. Remember me and you throwing paper balls at the DJ
It was
dude?
No, that wasn't that party. There was a party that Tonya and I did when he was in Europe.
I missed it.
Oh yeah.
We bought fancy drink tickets.
Oh yeah, that one. I thought that was the one that Kevin and I were throwing paper balls at.
No.
Clearly, I
DJ guy.
don't remember.
That was
So
fun.
yes, there will be an end of season party. There will be some free beer.
November 15th, football, Sunday. That would be good.
Well, if we did it on Sunday, it would have to be earlier in the day because people work the next day.
That's fine.
And
Started at
right now, softball playoffs would probably.
No, it's
And
okay.
it's a softball/kickball
We're
party.
gonna
So.
need you to have
And slash
five-
bowling, too, I
play
guess.
5 games today.
Just do like another league doesn't have all your sports do your party on one night for every city.
Yeah. 14th,
For
I won't
every
be there.
city?
I'll be honest, I won't be there for the 14th.
Well, they used to do that crap. I don't know if they do it anymore.
I'll be drunk on the kickball field.
I know. They're Walker used to do things a lot differently back in the day. Though.
Hi, Matt.
Peabody's.
Keegan's, Peabody's.
Peabody, dude, that was
That
one
was
of
the best, wasn't it?
That was the one. What was it? Was it
50 Cent showed it. Remember that?
Yes.
You all talk about that all the time.
I still had pictures.
Yeah, I got pictures of me at 50.
Look at Lisa, and then Lisa got into like the VIP
Oh
access.
yeah, she got.
And
into
she
VIP
wouldn't even bring me in
stuff.
there. I was
She
like,
wouldn't
oh, I
take us
was
in
all
there.
pissed off. Fuck that.
Damn it, Lisa.
Diplo was there.
Yep, Diplo was there.
What was it? Diplo, 50 Cent. There's
Their
somebody
course
else.
just
Who else
as
was there?
dirty as Buckethead, so it doesn't matter.
And then I was no, it's not, the floors aren't dirty. It's
No,
the
it's-
rafters.
it's- yeah, the rafters are dirty. That's why we're gonna
I've
climb up
only
the
been to
rafters.
Peabody's
No.
before.
I won't do that anymore. Yeah,
I've never been to Peabody.
Anyway, so
You're
not
party
so
info
amazing.
will be coming
I
out
feel like I'm
soon.
too old.
Yeah.
I would say tentative date right now,
I went when I was
Saturday, November 14th. It just makes the most sense. It's the last
So,
weekend
alright,
before
so I have
the-
another question. So, now that we have at least 3
I love you, Kevin.
Our time, baby.
time. So, now that we at least have 3 indoor facilities in the Hampton Roads area, will there be an indoor?
Indoor.
War.
Isn't that Star Wars?
Have another
Indoor.
beer, Kevin.
Yeah.
Kickball league anytime soon?
You could drive me home.
That's true. I'm not very.
There's a lot of factors involved with that. One,
Cost.
cost of facility rental is a big one.
And just FYI, 2 of those facilities I know serve beer.
So we've tried to
So
get
does-
indoor facilities
So does the sports, the
before.
soccer
The
complex.
soccer complex for winter draft serves beer.
I understand, but they're outdoors. And it's in the winter. So, hush.
Typically, it's the cost.
Ooh.
That's typically the biggest
so
factor.
where else
And
that
or
you're playing is outdoors.
they look at it and they're like, well, you guys are gonna sell a league for cheaper than what we're gonna sell a league, and they're like, no, we don't want competition.
Mhm.
That happens too. There's a couple factors, but no, if anybody knows a facility and they're like, I know you guys can get space here, I know they're not using their facilities, like we'll always explore stuff.
Okay.
Especially indoor, because indoor is awesome because like You don't have to worry about weather and cancellations.
You can
and-
play it off the walls and the ceiling. Or you're gonna make some weird rules.
I was gonna
Drips
say.
down my balls. Oh, what?
I always, like I said, always open to more stuff as long as it makes sense.
Ryan's open to exploration.
I don't understand.
That is what you just said. I'm not twisting your words.
Whoa!
I
That's
don't.
all
Social
Scribble
sports. Social sports.
Yeah, I don't
Why are you scribbling
understand.
out that dick?
It's kind of.
Yeah, I don't
It's
understand
kinda
the cost aspect
It's
of
so
it. But,
pleasure.
Yeah, no, it's.
I
Yeah.
didn't draw a Coke can, no.
Sorry.
That'd be pretty cool indoor kickball.
So on
Oh,
that,
there's
on that
pretty cool about the
note,
Coke
on
can.
that note,
Like, it's not that bad.
on that note, I think we're about done. So we'll throw up our little exit
Joey
screen here.
appreciate that.
Okay,
Talk
guys,
a little
tune
bit
in
for
for
a
Deuces.
tune in to
Juices, exactly.
Tune
Like
in
this?
in
Juices.
7 weeks for our next podcast.
Oh. We'll do them before then. I'll do
You need to do
Yeah,
one
we'll have
after
to do
bowling.
we'll have to do it at the season
unless
wrap-up
shit
for
goes
sports.
to hell, I could do one next week.
If shit goes to hell.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Shit
never know.
does kind of run downstream though.
It does. Gravity.
Depends
right?
on who it is, though.
You always
Rise
say
to the
3
top,
more
you don't worry
weeks
about
of
hitting you.
bowling.
Anyway, thank you guys for coming out last minute this week. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
You're welcome that we have no lives.
Yeah,
I mean,
anything better.
I'm not entertaining enough by myself, so.
I mean, I'm excited.
Yeah, you wouldn't draw dicks on the paper.
That's true. That's a pretty weak one, though. I'm just saying.
You've
How would
seen
you
better? You've had better?
Mine, obviously.
Yeah.
You've had your own?
No.
Oh.
Hey, here's the thing. If your dick has been sucked this year, you've had better than Talbert.
Oh,
And
shit.
you.
I'm sorry for you guys.
Do you?
A little bit, actually. Yeah.
So that means Ryan's had his dick sucked, right?